Hello everyone, this is Dave Flug, and in this video I am going to walk through the achievements that I completed for my virtual reality Nanodegree Capstone project. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, in the fundamentals category, the first one that I did is scale. As you can see, the user is about the height of a normal person. You can compare that to doors, and in a minute I'll show you some of the other items around it. The scale feels very realistic, and so that is 100 points. Next was animation. Now this monster here is animated. Well, I did not do the legs moving and everything. I did do the animation moving him around the world. I also animated all the doors and trapdoors throughout the world, and that's 100 more points. Now again, as you can see, the items around the rooms feel like a very realistic size, so that adds to the scale. Lighting. This is all baked lighting, but I do have a flashlight in one of the rooms which uses real-time lighting, so that is another 100 points. And I'm going to move into that room now. So here's the flashlight, and you can see when you turn it on, this is real-time lighting. Locomotion. I used waypoints throughout the world for player movement, so that's another 100 points. And finally, the intro video that was playing when I first started the scene. I don't think I looked at that, so I'll start it over. That is 100 points times 2 because of the lighting achievement. So overall, here's the video player. So overall, that is 600 points for the fundamentals category. Next, in completeness, 250 points for gamification. My entire project is a game. There are multiple rewards when you are able to find items. You can move on to the next room, and in the end the reward is winning and escaping the monster. So that's 250 points for gamification. Next is the diegetic UI. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. There is no text instructions throughout the entire game. It all uses the video and audio cues when you are ready to move on to a new place. I also didn't want to give away too much because this is an escape room game, and so part of the fun is finding your way out. So that's 250 points for that. And finally, an alternative storyline, that's 250 points there because the entire game is based on your choices, your ability to find the clues. So the game changes no matter who plays it, when you play it, whether you get out or not, whether you find all the items hidden throughout. That's up to the player. So that's 750 points for the completeness category. And finally, the challenges category. Now, I went with the user testing challenge, or achievement, and that is 250 points, but since I got 750 points in completeness, that is times 2, which makes it 500. And I will show you, here is what I've recorded from my user tests. I actually did 3 tests because my daughter wanted to try it out. Unfortunately, I didn't get any usable stuff from her, but she did enjoy it quite a bit. But the first user test I performed pretty early in development. I only had 2 of the 3 rooms puzzles completed, and I didn't have any of the audio or video. A lot of the lighting wasn't set up right, but it was just a really early build. And my first question to that user was, just in general, what did you think? And his exact word was, it was incredible. He really enjoyed it. He hadn't done a whole lot of VR before, and it was kind of funny because when he first started up and he saw the monster walking towards him, he kind of screamed. So he was very much in the experience, and he really enjoyed it. I asked him what in particular he liked, and he said he really liked the setting and the lighting. It was very creepy, and he felt like he was in the actual room. He really liked the monster, and he enjoyed the puzzles that I had completed. I asked if there was anything that he didn't like. He said there really wasn't, but he did think that it would be better, even better, when I added audio to it. And I asked him how the movement felt, especially as a new VR user, how it felt to him. He said it took him after the first waypoint or two, he got the hang of it. It was real easy after that. There wasn't a whole lot that I changed after that, just based on the fact that I was still very early in development. But I did keep his feedback in mind as I continued designing and developing. My second user test was much closer to the end. I had all the puzzles done. I had all the props and items out, and most of all of the audio that moved the story along. So the person speaking through the loudspeakers. I didn't have all the audio for doors opening or props, but the storyline audio was there. And I still had to do a little bit more with lighting, but overall it was almost done. So again, I asked what the overall impressions were, and they said that it was really well done, and they enjoyed the puzzles and the atmosphere. But there were some things that they thought I could improve on, which is my second question. They said that the main things were that they didn't know if they had picked up some of the items when they first clicked on them. So I went ahead and I added some feedback, whether that was some text on the display, kind of an indicator that you had the night vision goggles or the flashlight, and whether they were on or off, and also some audio cues as to whether or not something had been triggered or picked up. The second thing that could be improved was notes. There are notes in the second room, and when you click on them, it opens up in a canvas. However, at that point, you weren't actually looking at the canvas when it first opened up, so they didn't know that they had opened it when they clicked it. So I changed it so that the canvas would change its position to right in front of the camera when you clicked on the item. And finally, there was in the trapdoor, the secret passage under the second level, the second room to the third room, the position of the player was very low, and it almost felt like you were halfway into the floor. And while I was going for claustrophobic, this was a little bit too hard to see and navigate, so I did raise the player up a little bit when they went to the trapdoor waypoints. So that is all of the feedback from the user testing and what I did with it. Again, that's 500 points for the challenges category, bringing my totals and fundamentals to 600 points, completeness to 750, and challenges to 500. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks.